It felt like the longest off season ever. And Tim, we're a quarter of the way through the regular season. How does that make you feel?
Well, the fourth quarter ended, so that was once again the longest fourth quarter on Saturday. But oh man, you're right. 3 games. You only promised 12, as Coach Freeman says all the time. So 3 are in the books. What do we got? 2 more and then a bye. We get a little bye week prep. And then Stanford comes, man. This thing's rolling, baby. It's rolling.
Yeah. Congrats on your big win last night, Coach.
Yeah. By the way, Mark with glasses, if he's watching this, can I be a little taller when I run out of the tunnel?
Of course, he's still here.
I'm like 5'5", 5'6". I'm 6 foot in real life, about 205-ish, 210, give or take a hamburger or whatnot. I look like I'm 5'6", 148 pounds running out of the tunnel, but I like the energy though.
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, I do I play the EA college football game on a Twitch account just for fun. I get like 10 viewers, and last night was quarterfinals against Bama, and we beat them, or Coach Hyde beat them, 35-31. It was a thriller of a game.
Come from behind. You were down at halftime, so there you go.
7. Yeah, Steve played incredible. It's a fun time. We have fun with it.
I'll be honest. If anyone, hey, Mike has a link, and you just click it. You could follow if you're part of Twitch. I couldn't comment. I wanted to shoot some comments, but you had to be Twitch. I don't have the app, but it is fun just to sit back and relax for a few minutes and listen to you yap. So it's
it's
good nighttime.
I get the visor and the glasses going. I even busted this out a little bit, But anyways.
Oh, that's when you need the luck rally. I like that. You're gonna need that because you're playing Oregon next, so you're gonna need that leprechaun hat. So
I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I am gonna need it. All right, well, let's dive into the show tonight, Tim. And I always look forward to the show, Tim. It's like, man, some of these days I forget how busy the football season is. Like, so I do so many videos, so many shows, so many videos, and but this is just like a good escape for an hour. Just come in and chit chat with my friend, and it's a good time. So we're gonna talk some ball, which we, in years past we haven't really done too much. Like let's watch some clips, but we are now, and yeah. But let's first react to some news. Hit the thumbs up though. Please do that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course, if somehow you haven't done that. I think we're closing in on 27,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Took this thing over at like 2,000 back in 2020, and now we're almost at 27,000. So please.
What was it? Can you go back and see what it was the Clemson night? Like I've said, that's the first time I ever found you guys.
I'm sure I could. Text me later and remind me. I can see.
I would love to know what the number was on that night because it's obviously blown up since.
Not many, but yeah. And blueandgold.com, of course, folks, is your home for all things Notre Dame football and recruiting coverage. If you want hourly, sometimes, by the minute Deuce Night updates, where he's going to dinner. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, $1 for 2 months. Use the promo code UND1. We would love to have you on our website. And if you do sign up and you post, please say, hey, Mike, came from YouTube or podcast. That would be awesome. We love seeing you guys there. The deal that never dies. Confirmed. Tim, so big news on Monday. Jordan Botelho and Ashton Craig, Notre Dame's Viper and center respectively, out for the season with knee injuries. The Billy Schrauth one's interesting because he could be out until, mid to late October. But sometimes these injuries can be fast-tracked. And so maybe he could be ready to go against Louisville. Modern technology is something. Or modern medicine is something, I should say, not technology. So reaction, Tim. These 3 injuries, not surprises, obviously, with them not being good news. But the Schrauth one is good news that it's only a few weeks.
Well, let's just go right down the road there. You got Jordan Botelho, who, at my at the 1 quarter mark, is probably the defensive MVP. He's been absolutely lights out in every single game. So that's a killer because it's just like, man, finally finding his groove. Last year was his first full year playing Viper. He's played multiple other linebacker spots and things of that nature. And then he finally gets settled and plays a lot of football, starts for him, coming back for a 5th year, and then boom, he's done. It's like that's a kicker, just how good he's playing. Probably even could be probably want to be a late round pick, but the way he plays special teams back in his heyday, you got to consider him as an NFL roster spot because of his versatility. So that's a kicker for him, just how long he's been here and whatnot. The depth behind him, obviously, it just means Traore is going to play more. Does Tuli Alamaka play more? He's not a big pass rusher guy. You get Logan Thomas, who's obviously played in every single game on special teams and played D the other day. So that's a guy who's just another Traore type guy, meaning the length and the athleticism to flip his hip. So I bet we see some more of Logan as this season moves on. So it's a kicker. It's a killer. I've seen Botello coming back. It's like, man, 6 years. 6 years is just crazy. So does he just get healthy, try and make an NFL roster spot as a free agent? We'll know more, or does he want to come back? So it's going to be an interesting decision when you come back for a 6. Ashton Craig. I know we're going to get into Ashton and Billy because they're obviously being replaced by the 2 guys with the most starts, with 23 combined starts. When you look at Pat Coogan and Rocco Spindler, I look at like Ashton Craig, to me, athlete. He got hurt in the alley on a pole. The guy pulls 6-7 times a game. I don't know how good or if they are going to be able to do that with Coogan. He does not move like Ashton Craig. Ashton Craig is a Jared Patterson NFL future center. So, so they may have to tweak a few things in there with Pat Coogan. That's a kicker out of all 3 of them. That one hurts the most because he's an NFL football player, and we won't see him again until next year, which sucks. But Billy, obviously, the short term, we should see him. The good news, obviously, Rocco played his butt off on Saturday, and I think we're going to see that type of mentality from him moving forward, especially with him and Pat next to each other combo. And I think we'll see some different schemes, probably just a hell of a lot more inside run with those 2 big lugs. But
sure,
it's a kicker when you lose 3 damn good football players. And Billy Schroff is, he's great. He's almost a 72 on PFF, which is really, really elite winning football when you look at a grade standpoint. So he's had a hell of a season, and it's going to, looking forward to getting him back as soon as possible.
Okay. So the Botello thing is interesting because he's played in I just had his thing pulled up. So 2020 was his freshman year, sophomore. This is his 5th year, but he had the COVID year, right?
His COVID is this year, yeah, because 2020 doesn't count.
Yeah, so he can play.
Yeah, he could come back for one more. That's just 6 years. It depends on what that injury is. How long it's going to be. Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty bad, from what I was told. It's pretty bad.
Yes,
but maybe this time next year, or in August or so, he could be ready to go. And you got to remember, this is a kid from Honolulu. And there had been rumors over the years like, maybe he might want to go back. So it would be interesting, but definitely something we'll keep an eye on. So how do you feel about the replacements? Because it's crazy to me, Tim. Goolsby in our show last night, would definitely recommend folks watching that if you haven't done or listened to it on podcast. He's down on the O-line. Or I shouldn't say down on the O-line, just he's not feeling great about the O-line and right now, especially with these injuries. But when you lose Jagasaw, Craig, and Strouth, and you still have so much talent still on the O-line with Spindler and Coogan, guys have played a lot of football. Knapp replacing Jagasaw. This is still an O-line that doesn't have Baker on it. And Tosh Baker, might not be everyone's favorite O-lineman or whatever, but still would start at a lot of places around the country. So Notre Dame's depth is on display. And then even with losing Botello, Boubacar Traore, pretty darn good player. Could Bryce Young play more from this?
And Burnham will come back.
So there's
it's It's a kicker on O-line because those two guys that are coming back got beat out as 23 game starters. Coogan with his 13th and Rocco with 10. So they got, they did get beat out. The two guys that are not playing are better football players. Billy, it is night and day when you watch these guys. It just is. You just see their athleticism on display with Ashton Craig. Like I said, they're pinning and pulling with him. And on top of that, he's out. He's had the 2 holding calls, but he's mauling the Mike backers on those 2 holding calls. He's just engulfing them, and his hands are a tad out. They had nothing to do with those big runs, which sucks that he got called on those 2. But and like I said, Trout's Trout is going to be an All-American and going to be an NFL draft pick. Rocco Spindler is not. So it is a hit. It just is.
Yeah, it is.
You got 3 starters now that were in the Sun Bowl, day 1 starters in training camp that are gone. So go to the depth point, yes, but you don't want to be playing backups for the next 9, 10, 11 games, knock on wood, if they get to go that far. But you can't, man. I have no idea what they're going to do if they lose someone else. It's going to be rookies everywhere. So, you could say, O-line and the recruiting's been good. They're all babies. Me personally, Anthony Knapp has hit a wall. You could see it with him. That dude plays hard, man, but you could see on certain blocks, he's like, he knows he messed up, took a wrong step, gets beat here and that. Because he's probably playing 2 years ahead of time, for crying out loud. So, they're getting a lot of mileage out of him so far in these 3 games. And, he's by far and away the lowest ranked lineman after 3 games, but he's just going to keep getting better. Not that he's bad or stiff or anything, but he's playing early, and you could see it at times where he is just swimming mentally, trying to keep up. But he's got a lot of reps, man. He is out there playing his butt off as a true freshman, which is the 3rd time in history to be a game 1 starter as a true frosh.
Yeah. But to my point, Notre Dame's backups are going to be a lot better. So I'm looking glass half full, but it sucks. No doubt about it.
Tyler Horka. Tyler.
You let me know how many places are going to have backups as good as those 2. But obviously not ideal. Quick 30 seconds. Gerby Lambert. What'd you see from him on? Because that could be someone who we could see if, knock on wood, you just said, oh man, I don't know what they're going to do if they have another injury. If it were be at a tackle, we could see Gerby Lambert, and I know you were pretty high on him.
I'm going to do the Mike Singer high five kudos, because a year ago you're like, Tim, watch out for Cooper Flanagan. Shocker, Northern California Catholic, trained, ready to rock and roll. He's been a 3-game starter this year. Cooper is coming through. Mike Singer said something, a little sprinkle of football dust in August, where Mike said, I think it was one of your predictions, right? Gerby Lambert, start near the end of the season. I think you possibly had. If not, you did sprinkle, possibly look out for that. A Boston Catholic guy. There you go. Amazing how that works. Look at that. Tim, California, a little Boston with the wife. There you go. But Gerby Lambert, everybody, is a freak. He has played 23 snaps, was the highest graded Notre Dame lineman on Saturday with an over 75 PFF, which is outstanding. And another old Singer special. Is that on the bingo? If it isn't, add it, because I'm going to give Singer kudos when he deserves it. Gerby Lambert is a stud. Mike, seriously, he needs to be the next guy in. I don't care if it's center. He is just powerful. Everything we thought about. I remember when he committed, I said he's the best lineman to sign since Quentin Nelson. I stand by that even more so now after watching him. His length he's a powerful man. He looks like a Georgia, Alabama offensive tackle, and those guys get drafted. He is an NFL guy. I was watching his footwork, just moving like pistons, right, left, whether it's a down block or they're running, duo away from him where you fan out the DN. Just literally, I need to look up the DN because the guy never moved. There's 2 pass plays. That guy doesn't get off his stance because he just shoots his hands, and I just kick your ass on the line of scrimmage. He was like a combo of alt on pass blocking and Blake Fisher on down blocks. Seriously. So knock on wood. It's interesting, which is wild because Emil Wagner has been the forgotten guy. He's been the most solid play after play guy for 3 games, just does his work, gets his sandwich and Gatorade, goes home and does homework and chills for the week, and we don't hear a damn word out of the guy for 3 weeks. But sure. If like I said, I've seen Knapp hit a wall, so it's like if he keeps struggling and he's 50s in the PFF, just struggling every now and then, man, how do you get Lambert and Wagner together? That's what I want to know. Because their length and athleticism, Gerby Lambert's a 50-pound heavier Emil Wagner is what he is. That's what he looks like. So I loved it. I watched every play last night, 23 snaps, and he is I love him. Seriously, I can't wait to see him play.
Before we move on, just last word on the O-line. Like, is Notre Dame going to survive this? Like, are they losing games now because the O-line, like with Craig and Schrouth being out? Like, how dire of a circumstance is this with these injuries?
I don't think it's dire because you have 2 running backs and a quarterback that could run.
That's a great point. They help hide some deficiencies, right?
One of my biggest beefs with Chris Tyree was when they would run duo and it's 1-on-1. Everyone's down blocking, kicking the hell out of people, and Chris has to beat a safety or a backer and can never do it, never bounce it. Love and Price could bounce plays in a heartbeat.
We're going to look at that. We're going to look at both of their touchdown runs.
So those guys could bounce plays, and that's something I've been talking about for the last few years. Like, it's not always the old lineman. It will come down a bit because, once again, it's 5 guys blocking 5. So the other guys got to do their job, and at the end of the day, a running back has to beat someone 1-on-1. They could do that, and Riley Leonard is the third tailback in this offense. Yeah. He's had double-digit carries in 3 games. So I think they can get around it. The way they could scheme, going back to even what they did in Purdue. How they run the boots, like the quick little bootleg that did Eli Reardon. Hell, they did a sprint out with him. Boom, a quick first down. How they just did 3 of these things against NIU. They win by 10 points, 14 points, and a crappy game. But as life moves on.
If you want tickets to a sporting event, comedy, theater, sports, I already said sports. Say sports again, whatever the case may be. Game Time is what you're going to want to check out. GameTime.co, not .com. Don't get it twisted, folks. GameTime.co is a sponsor for tonight's show. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer last-minute ticket deals. So you can just get relaxed and hype for that fun that you're going to have. Website, super easy to manage. Game Time has all sorts of cool new features and whatnot. One of them being Game Time Picks, which makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They also have the all-in pricing. Toggling this feature on, folks, shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. You just check out the seat views to get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, and you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. Or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets, sporting, again, comedy, theater, whatever the case may be near you with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code ON3, that's ON3, for $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code ON3 for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Thank you to our sponsors over at Game Time. Shall we talk some Riley Leonard, Tim?
Yeah, this is the wildest.
All right, I'll give you the floor.
I've ever read on Twitter, message board, YouTube. Bench him. He can't play. He can't do this. Yeah, it's been wild. 72 hours since our post game.
Here's the floor, Tim. What's on your mind with it?
What's the question? I could go one of 76 directions you got, right? We're going down the trails. Where do you want to go?
Give me a second. I'll tell you where. Just give me a second. Hold on.
Sure.
You said
the comments.
You text me, I broke down every single Riley Leonard pass call scramble. The narrative on him is wrong. And I want to talk about it. So let's talk about it, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, the narrative is he can't throw. Yeah, you could only pass in the calls that are called. And I thought Mike Denbrock did a heck of a job on Saturday utilizing his talents. The dude's an athlete. For whatever reason, something happened 18 months ago where some journalist spank on YouTube, on Yahoo or whatever article said he's a first-round pick. Well, the Athletics NFL draft guru just said Connor Wegman's an NFL first-round pick, and he's playing as much as you and I are now. So whatever some journalist writes, it doesn't mean it's true. It means it's off-season fodder. So Riley Leonard's had this constant, well, he's a possible NFL first-round pick. I don't know how the hell anyone could watch him play at Duke and say that's a first-round draft pick. He's a very good quarterback, I believe. I think could do a hell of a lot of good things. He's not a deep ball thrower. He's not this cannon arm. He wasn't that at Duke. And there hasn't been really any opportunities. I think that's another thing outside of a couple plays. I mean, let's just take, I know Horka had a thing which was off PFF about he's 0 for 5. Well, what are those 5 plays that he's 0 for 5 on? Let's just break those down. He throws a dime to Jaden Greathouse that he drops, correct? He throws a back shoulder to Chris Mitchell in NIU, and Mitchell just keeps running straight, and he throws it, and you could tell he looked at him like, dude, it's back shoulder, 20 yards, incomplete. He did the same thing with Jaden Thomas this past week against Purdue, where he's looking at Jaden Thomas as well. So are these miscommunications? Is this just work? Is this just the corner's pressed inside, so you run this way? The corner's off 5 yards, you run this way. Those are game plan things. So that's just an example there. Obviously, the interception is horrible. It's a double post. He threw a horrible, horrible pass. Why the hell was it ever called? You're winning with 6 minutes to go in the game, for crying out loud. Kill clock, kick a field goal. NIU is not driving the ball 80 yards to win, which is baffling. And then the other one, the Bo Collins one. How the hell can he complete a fade to Bo Collins with Anthony Knapp sitting in his chest? He's getting hit by Knapp as he throws the ball. So those are the only 5 passes 20 plus, right? Obviously, Bo Collins did catch a 20-yarder. I went back and rewatched the A&M game late last night, and that dude threw some unbelievable passes to get that thing going. He's really good at 10, 15, some of the out routes, the stop routes. We saw some of the plays on Saturday. The dude threw some dimes. He's thrown a couple passes that Heath Evans. Geez, that's the old tight end in the NFL.
The Ravens.
Yeah, exactly. The Mitch Evans that are just right on point. Has he missed a slant to Thomas? He's missed one to Mitchell. Yes. The Twitter picture, which has gone viral, of Jeremiah Love, 88 yards down the field, uncovered. Well, watch the play, people. He looks at Love. Love runs a wheel route. He looks at Love right away. The corner's right there. And then Riley Leonard, if all you have to do is watch Duke. Once Riley Leonard knows he's going to run, the dude ain't looking downfield.
Yeah, that's what I said the other night. Yeah,
he's not looking downfield. Bryce Young, when he was at Alabama, that dude's always looking downfield. Look at some of his touchdown passes at Bama. He's looking downfield. That's just the type of quarterback he is. So those just, some of the things, because Denbrock called an amazing game, I felt, the other day, because it was a lot of underneath, boots. Like I said, the sprint out. I only counted, and I have it right here, of just really happy feet 3 times. And when you count the couple scrambles, the holding call on Greathouse, that's the other thing. The pass to Collins where Knapp's in his lap goes for a 32-yard touchdown, and 25 yards is taken back away from Jaden Greathouse at the end of the play before Price's touchdown. So you got a quarterback who runs for 100, and he possibly has over 170 yards in passing in one freaking half, and he's an issue. I don't understand. This is just me. I don't understand.
I hear you. I like the optimism in the glass half full. The thing about the Purdue game was they were awful. They were undisciplined. They put 8 in the box and kept allowing Notre Dame to break runs on them. Like, that was just a terrible defense.
True, but at the same time, Notre Dame played, as I said, Saturday as an angry football team. They came into that stadium and wanted to demolish them for 60 minutes. So they did not give them, once again, there's 2 teams playing. So just because one team's bad doesn't mean the other team just needs to hang out.
Tim,
that was the mindset against NIU, and they lost. They came out and they played with their hair on fire and just steamrolled them. Is Purdue going to win, going to a bowl? Hell no. But they gave Purdue the worst loss in their history.
Okay.
Secondly, check this out. A road game. I went back because Tim Hyde has nothing but time in this life, right? So I went back all the way to Era Parsegian, 64 to Freeman 24. Only 11 times in the history of Notre Dame history, 64 to 24, has Notre Dame scored 50-plus points. 50-plus points on the freaking road, only 11 times. 66 points Saturday is the most since they demolished Pitt in 65. So the nitpicking is, for me, as a Notre Dame guy, I think it's overkill.
All right.
Kick the crap out of Purdue,
and
I love it.
What you are doing sounds like what I would have done the past 2 years. Like, this feels like a flip-flop. I feel like I'm having deja vu from what you're saying is something that I would have said. To like defend Drew Pine or something, like, oh, you can only play against, it's like, and you know what Tim Hyde would have yelled at me? Mike, this is Notre Dame.
Yeah,
this is Notre freaking Dame. Do you think this passing offense has been good enough? No, Purdue was bad. Denbrock did a good job scheming things open against that man defense in the short passing game, but great. But this passing offense downright stinks. It stinks. Because I appreciate you, but this passing offense right now stinks. All right, and here's a point for me. Hold on, no, I'm going. I let you go. Tim, I'm speaking. Tim. Hold on, let me address this. He says, go watch Ohio State for Michigan. McCarthy never threw it deep. They pounded the ball all underneath throwing. This team ain't Michigan. That Michigan, was that at the Joe Moore Award? Offensive line.
Yeah, they didn't win it last year. They won it the 2 years before. They didn't win it last year. But real quick.
I mean, come on. Like, McCarthy was also, I'm not a McCarthy guy, but he was a first-round pick.
Mike, he had quarterback. 7 games last year. The last 2 years, McCarthy's had 14 games the last 2 years. Throwing for under 200 yards. 14.
Dude.
So don't tell me you need to run. You need to throw for 3.
I'm in the twilight zone. I feel like we have completely flipped.
No, but I mean, be honest. What?
Tim, you're all about the explosive plays. We need to push the ball. Drew Pine can only throw the ball 40 yards. And now it's like, we don't need to push the ball downfield. It's fine. Just let them play cover 0 on us. It's fine.
Like saying this is a stupid conversation right now. It really is dumb because you're saying you don't need explosive plays. Of course, you need explosive plays. You don't need to throw 82-yard bombs.
I'll just take 20 yards, Tim. I'll just take 20 yards. How about that?
But that's the other thing. They're not calling those, so you could only pass what.
Why?
An offensive line that's young as hell. A rookie left tackle that's playing 2 years before he has to. Your best All-American NFL tight end is just getting a little bit of snaps here and there to get himself back in the groove.
Give me more reasons.
By the way, who the hell is the field wide receiver? Does Notre Dame have one? Because through 3 games, we haven't seen anybody.
Might be KK Smith.
Okay, might be. Okay, so the third string redshirt freshman is now going to save Notre Dame. Okay. But anyway, he's third string. So he's only
He might not be anymore. We'll see.
so he's going to pass Chris Mitchell and Jordan Faison. Okay, we'll see.
I don't know.
So
We'll see.
third string to start the season. Let's say that they have no field wide receiver. Greathouse and Bo Collins are definitely their two best wide receivers. Thomas is a hybrid 222-pound tight end. Heck, they went 13. I want to count 13 off the top of my head. 13 plays and 12 personnel on Saturday. They've been in single digits the first two games. So that tells you what Mike Denbrock's like. And who did they throw to? Eli Raridan. So it's like, man, maybe. And I said this back in the summer and the spring that the best receivers on this team might be the tight ends. So as soon as you go all this spread stuff Notre Dame fans want, you're taking out your best weapons, which might be the tight ends, and it's still the running backs on this team. So
it's just like, again, Purdue is putting 7-8 guys in the box every time.
And NIU did, and A&M did. The same
right?
thing.
You know,
Everybody does.
That Purdue safety was about 45 yards back.
To take away the deep throw.
He can't cover. He can't. I mean, he can't cover.
That's why you play cover 3 and 1 high, 1 safety. You have a roaming free safety.
They played so much man. Purdue played so much man. We'll take a look at it.
So
it's baffling.
He picked them apart underneath. So why sit back and run all these deep routes when you don't need to? You could dump it. You could dump it to Evans for 3 yards and he breaks it for 19. Jaden Greathouse broke one that goes for 25 that gets called back for holding.
I'm telling you, Tim, we have flipped on this completely. I'm telling you what you're saying. I feel like I've literally said before, and we were on different sides.
Leonard is, but Riley. See, this is what kills me. Yet you go and watch the A&M game. He's throwing 10, 15-yard out routes on a frozen rope right to guys. So it is there. I think, me personally, I think some of this is miscommunication. I go back to the A&M game where Faison runs the wrong route. I almost called him Jordan Love. Jeremiah Love turns the wrong way, or there's a touchdown. All these things. Yeah, he has no touchdown passes in 3 games, but he's rushing for touchdowns. And there's no – and how many times has Notre Dame even been in the red zone? It seems like every touchdown's a big broken play. So this wide open passing attack, once again, it's like, who the hell are the guys that are going to do this wide open passing attack? And their front 5, I said it for 9 months. No one wanted to listen to me. You're going to struggle in pass protection because you lost a Mount Rushmore offensive tackle in Joe Alt, and you lost a 2nd-round draft pick in Blake Fisher. And their pass protection is not as good as it was the last couple of years. Just
there's a combination of many factors on this, right? Tim, you're talking about the play calling, receivers, O-line, but I feel like you're like, Leonard's not the problem at all. Like, Leonard gets some of this as well.
I'm not saying Leonard's problem. Leonard is the best quarterback for this team. And the people that think Angeli should start is fascinating to me. I just don't understand what they're seeing. Angeli probably gets sacked 19 times against A&M if he's going to sit there and hold the ball. I mean, come on. Angeli is not better than Riley Leonard. He's just not. I said this after Saturday. He is the perfect number 2. And he was last year, and he showed that in the Sun Bowl. And he played really solid when he got in the game yesterday, but he missed as many throws too. There was just as many punts with him at quarterback than there was with Riley Leonard. So it's not like he went in there and was running gun. He threw a great pass to Harrison, right? The same exact play that Greathouse drops for a 40-yard play. So it's like, I just think people need to chill, take this team as it is. Riley Leonard is not this high top 2-round NFL passing quarterback. He's just not.
We can have this conversation again next week and see, but at some point, this is the thing, Tim. Like, in a vacuum for the Purdue game, great. But I think much of the frustration is you can't, like, can they get away with this all season? I don't think they can. Like,
no, because somebody
how good Louisville is, but
down the field. Yeah, there's going to be a time. It's in every game. I've told this to my kids all the time, years as well. There's always a point in every game where you're going to be pushed. Obviously, they weren't against Purdue, but there's going to be a time where you got to complete a pass, just like NIU. They didn't complete the pass. He gets picked.
Just the other team.
And A&M, they completed those passes that got the drive going. They completed three big passes on that drive that got the drive going. So that was that time where you needed to make plays, and they did. NIU, they didn't. NIU is just one of the worst losses in ND history. It's going to be written about when we're dead and 500 years afterwards.
All right. Well, that was something. I'm telling you, Tim, if I had more time, I would go try to find this where we're just, I would have to go through so much footage. It's just not worth it. But
footage of what?
Us debating a different quarterback, and we're on the other sides of this argument. I'm telling you.
I have no idea what quarterback in what game or what not.
I'm guessing it would have been Pine, since he's been the quarterback for half the time we've been doing this show. But
who was going to start for Pine? And Jelly as a true freshman? Come on.
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it was never going to happen. That's why Pine.
It's just a debate. It's just a debate about the quarterback and the blame game. That's just really what it comes down to. I assign more blame on Riley than you do. And that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well, first off, they're 2-1. So the one loss I felt was horrible play calling. They took away the strength of Notre Dame's football team. Mike Denbrock took away the strength of Notre Dame's football team, which is Riley's legs. If he was that beat up, then take him out. He just showed against Purdue he wasn't that beat up. Notre Dame, see, and that's another thing that kills me. Notre Dame played like crap against NIU. The entire football team played like crap, and they were still winning with 6 minutes to go. Just you're allowed to win 14-13. Georgia just proved that this past weekend. You can play like crap and win. It's okay. You're in the playoff era. The only goal is to get wins. So 14-13 is survival in game 2. No one gives a damn if you won 14-13 10 weeks from now, because it's a W. The loss, bam, now it's going to matter.
I mean, Denbrock didn't throw the pick, but
did he call it? Did he call it with the lead? Why would you call a double post if you hold on? They've already taken his legs away. So Denbrock and them knew Riley Leonard was injured. So why are you calling bombs away passes with an injured quarterback?
Yeah, but there was two receivers underneath he could have thrown to. I don't know.
What's the call? The call is double post. Double post, you read the damn middle safety. You're not looking for the 10-yard out route into the boundary. That's not the call.
So he can't throw it? He can't throw it? Or he can't throw it? He couldn't have thrown it to Greathouse, who was running wide open?
Quarterbacks are just going to say it. Quarterbacks get 5.5 seconds, according to you, right? Just sit there, scan everybody.
Kind of did on that play, yes.
Oh, the boundary 10-yard pass is open. The call is a double post. He threw the double post. It should never been called. If you want to throw, it's 2nd and 1. If you want to throw the 10-yard dump, call it, because Denbrock's shown he will call that, and they've completed those.
And Greathouse and Mitchell were open, but Greathouse was running free. But
with this, okay, whatever. It's always a constant. So you're going to blame Riley Leonard. Everyone wanted to blame Sam Hart. It's just a constant blame thing. Is what just goes in circles. It's all good.
I'm blaming a lot of different people, but it's you that's not blaming the quarterback at all.
How the hell is there a blame game when you just won 66-7? Riley Leonard played quarterback. 35 points were scored on his watch. How is there a blame game associated with him?
This is Notre Dame. They just lost to NIU.
Exactly.
I have that in my mind still.
Crap. Well, it is what it is. Well, the team just got rid of it, and they went out and handled business. So that was a team loss. That was a head coach loss, as we're learning. That was a Marcus Freeman in year 3 loss. That was not a quarterback loss. When you look at the entire program, that was a head coach and his messaging. All you have to do is listen to all the players. All you have to do is even listen to Marcus Freeman himself. They know what they did wrong that week. And it shows. So you got to move forward. You have to move forward. And they showed.
Speaking of moving forward, all right, we're going to skip some of the other crap. I'm too worked up. Too worked up, Tan. Preach, Tim. Tom. This is Tom who called in the other night. Now he's on your side. Tom, I'm never taking your call again. Never taking your call again, Tom. Don't even try it.
Hold on. Through 3 games. No, I mean, we can stay on this. We don't need to do some of the other topics. Through 3 games, why shouldn't Riley Leonard be the quarterback?
I'm not calling for him to be benched.
Okay, then. Exactly. So just let him do what he does. He is a running quarterback.
Let him do what he does as long as he can, Tim. I agree. Exactly. I don't know how long it'll be, but let him do it.
It's amazing because there's plenty of other quarterbacks that have seemed to throw for, this many, run for 1,000. It's not like just because you're running quarterback doesn't mean you get hurt. So yeah, we'll see.
I hope he doesn't.
And if not, it's Steve Angeli and those that just think this offense is going to roll with Steve Angeli. I hope it does.
So now you're okay. So we're blaming Angeli already.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just talking about quarterbacks. Steve Angeli is not on the same path as Riley Leonard. If he was, they would have put him in against NIU. They didn't.
Okay.
As Mike Goolsby said last night, plenty of reports that have been out there where he got a ton of first team reps last week, and he didn't play until the 3rd quarter.
All right, Tim. Why not Buckner?
Because he's a walk-on wide receiver. Damn, is that?
All right, Tim. What do you make of I love bracketology that it has creeped into college football. Have you seen this?
I've seen a few. I'm not going to get into them until. I mean, they're fun. They're fun. There you go. Yeah, they're fun.
We broke down preseason top 25 for months.
Yeah, they're fun. Oh, I'm looking at this. Yeah, I want to see the group of 5. So they got UNLV. Okay.
UNLV in right now, beat Kansas. And I think they had another good win. Who else did UNLV beat? I can't remember.
I don't know, but I know Memphis obviously just got to Florida State, Boise. By the way, just Football Scoop does a group of 5 weekly poll.
I love that.
Yes, I noticed that. So that's something cool to check on just as they're doing their little, polling analytics or whatever they are to figure that out. So that's pretty cool. But,
so so Notre Dame being the first 4 out seems right. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I saw this. I figured you would have some thoughts on it.
No. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not in. Hey, I'm out of sight, out of mind until we'll see what happens. I saw a stat. I mean, Freeman hasn't even had a 5-game winning streak. So we're talking about playoffs. How about he has a 5-game winning streak, right? So we haven't even gotten to that point in his career yet. So let's get there first before we even get to this. But no, right away, obviously Texas, Ohio State. Texas is obviously having a heck of a March. I think next week is Georgia, Alabama. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. Yeah. Ohio State, Oregon are going to play each other. Tennessee's got someone this week. If someone in the chat,
Oklahoma.
Yes, yeah, game day. The game day. That's going to be Oklahoma's first SEC. That's going to be an awesome game. Obviously, SC Michigan this week. We'll see what happens there. Nebraska's that. Man, they got some athletes. Heck of a head football coach. We'll see what rolls there. And then Miami. As much as they've just been an absolute mess. Cristobal loses games because he can't take a knee. But do they have the quarterback? And Cam Ward and the other positions that he's been recruiting and getting in the portal to win that ACC. That ACC it's probably going to be Miami, Clemson. Florida State, by the way, just 10 seconds on them.
Oh, my God, Tim.
I saw a stat the other day, which I actually was stunned. It was this many. I think it's 9 preseason AP top 10s have finished or started 0-3 now. 9. First off, I was like, how the hell is there's 9 of them? But that's not a preseason top 10. That goes back to Brett McMurphy, right? Where he tweeted that every year outside of like one in the last 20, 25 years, a preseason top 10 has not finished ranked. Like 2016, Notre Dame's in that nice list. But Florida State's definitely not going to finish in the top 10 this year. So
how bizarre.
Michigan, probably more than likely Michigan if Michigan loses this game.
Michigan looks terrible.
To SC. If they lose to SC, you're looking at a 7-5-ish type of a Michigan team. So you're going to have two that finish out unranked, which will be interesting. No, but bracketology is fine. It's going to be nice once you start in these next few weeks because everything's going to start being conference play when you're playing 9 games. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. I forget who Texas plays October 19th, if it's Bama or Georgia, but yeah, Texas is going to have some huge games.
Georgia. I don't think they play Bama.
And then it must be Georgia.
I just saw Andrew Gilmore just said something about Manning. My God.
October 19th. Yeah, he looks good.
That's the best number 2 quarterback in the country is Arch Manning. Holy moly. That guy is legit.
Yeah.
So they're not going to miss a beat with him playing.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It goes, I mean, Notre Dame, knock on wood, right, Mike? Take care of business this week. I mean, seriously. I think they've all learned their lesson, right? I think they're going to take Miami of Ohio. They're going to treat them like they're Miami of Florida, and they're going to play their tails off. If they don't, then there's massive issues inside that locker room, but I don't think we're going to see that. I think this team knows, handle business, get ready for the huge game against Louisville.
The question remains, okay, you didn't take NIU that seriously, whatever, but how? How do you let that happen? Is wild to me.
1007% human nature, man. You spend your entire offseason prepping for one game, and
sure,
the old saying, right? You lick your wounds and you try and move on, and by the time it's Wednesday, Thursday, you're like, crap, we got a game in a few days, and sometimes it happens,
All right, how about this one, Tim? You'll love this after our debate. Riley Leonard is the first FBS player with 100 or more passing yards, 100 or more rushing yards, and 3 or more rushing touchdowns in a first half since Lamar Jackson, Syracuse, September 9, 2016. I actually covered Louisville during this period, and this was, I'm like 90% sure this was a Friday. The Friday game against Syracuse where the country was watching.
I think I remember that.
Friday.
The Clemson game, I remember.
It was a Friday.
Him and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that was a huge game for him. The Florida State game where they blew him out at home.
Yes,
but I feel like this was his coming out party, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I think you're right. Where he just goes off. And I saw a tweet the other day about where at the combine they asked Lamar Jackson, is anyone talking to him about moving to safety at the combine? Oh my gosh, I love America.
So yeah, it was a really good, it was a really good half by Ryan Leonard. I don't really care about the no passing touchdowns thing as long as they're scoring touchdowns. I don't care. So
yeah, and just the a little cherry on top of the sundae here. It's like, has he got happy feet? Hell yeah, he has. You watch it, he's got happy feet. Has he missed the guy like on that one? Yeah, but once again, he starts scrambling. That's just what he does. That's why I go back to that picture. He still throws a few good things. Still a quarterback that's learning, as they keep saying. I go back to the article I read with the OC from Duke, who coached him, saying, yeah, he's going to Notre Dame, but it's going to be new. And how many times have we heard Denbrock's in spring ball? Yeah, it's going to be a work in progress. See us by game 9. It's like, holy moly, we don't have patience for 9 games, Denbrock, but as we have found out. And it's showing. It's showing. But they went out and got him for a reason, correct? They brought him in to be the quarterback for a reason. And that's the way I look at it.
This is one of my favorite SportsCenter facts I've ever seen. Notre Dame's 66 points are its most following a loss within a season since 1908. That year, the Irish lost at Michigan and then defeated Chicago Physicians and Surgeons 88-0 the next game.
Now that's a stat. That's a stat. I love the George Clooney pick, by the way, down there. It's like
they need this kind of squad. I posted this on the message board, and I was like, I really wish the late great Lou Emoji were still here with us, so I could get his synopsis of the game, and he could tell me who scored all the touchdowns. And I was like, well, just kidding. But there's like a 50-50 shot Lou would have really known about.
Yeah, exactly. What defense did the Physicians come out in, right? Is that who was their starting middle linebacker?
Like, why play Max Schools when you could just play the Chicago Physicians and Surgeons? Because, you're probably not losing that.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Let's all right. I sent you some film, Tim.
Got a couple more. Yeah.
This one was not on the list, but this view was so good. I was like, we got to look at this one.
Sure.
With this camera view. So it's an empty, the Coach Dan Casey says, empty QB long trap versus a bear front.
Yeah, I think they just motioned the
one of the running backs out.
All right, so motion out, you got empty. It's basically just it's interesting. They ran this a handful of times in the game. I got an old article from Joe Rudolph like 10 years ago breaking this thing down in like a coaching magazine. This is a staple of Wisconsin football. It's one gap power, is what it is. You're only pulling one guy, or a one back power, excuse me. So just nice down blocks. Rocco logs up. He sealed the C gap right there with the tight end. Push play.
Okay. Part of this, when I was watching this, is is that number 0 right here? He slants inside right away. That very much helped.
Yeah, I mean, they're thinking he's just going to run right up the gut, sitting right there inside the 5-yard line, and Knapp just caves him in.
This middle linebacker right here, he just blocks, as that Wagner comes down on him. But
yeah, you got the A, and he's trying to go to the B, and they just cave him in with Wagner right there.
And then who's that pulling? Spindler?
A little hinge block. Yeah, Wagner hinges. He seals B gap. That's Spindler right there. That's Rocco.
So I see everyone saying, why did he go right off that block? Leonard is blind. Okay, all right. So he's planted, right? He can go either way.
Hold on, push pause. Just look at these lines. Look at this. It looks like
this is beautiful.
They look like. By the way, there's another one on. I think it's in Jellies where there's just a straight line of every lineman just pin blocking everybody, and it's just wide open.
So he's running here. You can go left or you can go right.
Or you could jump over
it. So he puts his left foot. He's already decided right here. I am cutting to the right. He's already decided it. And then that guy just happens to go there too. Like he could have gone either way there. It's not like I don't understand why people are so critical about this. Like he scored a touchdown. Who cares?
The Twitter coaching circuit is intense, man. Everyone's got critique on everything out there. Everyone's got film on, 6 pages on every play.
He's already cut. Like he's
touchdown. All you need is cross the plane. It's walk-in touchdown. That's one thing, man. Riley Leonard can cut. He is literally a 6'4" tailback. The dude could cut. Like his one touchdown run, great cut. The run he has to the left. There's one scramble where he comes back to the left. The guy could run, man.
He can. All right. Great block here by Bo Collins. I love Bo with his versatility. Like it just comes in and plays tight end here and goes and look at this block by Bo Collins.
Oh yeah. 12 personnel. That 13 personnel formation with him as a wing, getting him inside the formation. Which, by the way, Bo Collins was in a 3-point stance a week ago.
Yeah,
down on a dead side tight end where there's no one outside of him. He does a good job. Nice block right here. Is Wagner sealing this thing?
So this is a great thing. You have Notre Dame has 10 around the line of scrimmage, and Purdue has 9. Right? Because your quarterback is a runner. So here's another Riley Leonard run. And he's matched up here. Football. This is 1-on-1 against Purdue's All-American safety.
This is
that is so bad. That's a nice move by Riley, but that is
the angle from the end, from like CBS had a great angle of this from the end zone, and it was just watching him cut and just dude loses his jock strap is basically what happens. It's but Leonard. Dude can run, man.
Yeah, he's incredible on the ground.
He's a Heisman Trophy winner in the 1950s. Literally, he's going to be a single wing tailback and just crushing teams back in the heyday.
All right, so here's that look that you were talking about.
Yeah, this is
Great job by Raridan pulling here.
Wagner, or excuse,
Or not
look at
pulling,
Wagner.
but you know.
Wagner just engulfs the B gap and just caves the living hell out of it. But good job by Knapp. This is one thing that, Knapp does a good job on balls away from him of locking out that end, sealing that backside. Because those are, we've seen some cutback lanes. So Knapp, this has been one of his strong suits in the 3 games, is locking out that backside. He does a really good job.
I got 2 more, Tim.
I would love, by the way, I would just love to have someone interview Knapp one-on-one and just be like, dude, what's going on in your brain, right? Classes, lifting, eating, checking in with mom and dad, and you got to go play football and block dudes that are all older, faster than you. You know what I mean? It's like it is wild. Aaron Taylor was on a podcast the other day just laughing like, I can't believe he's watching Notre Dame film and just saying, I can't believe this guy's playing. Like, how the hell is a true freshman out there with all the checks and everything?
All right, so there is a Purdue safety on this play. He is very far back. Man.
Yeah, which is interesting. Going back to your point, Mike, it's like you don't need to play 32 yards deep against Notre Dame because they don't. Who the hell's running the post? No, they don't have these post guys. You got to, these outside fade guys you got to worry about. I just played 9 in the box and lock up everyone else.
Yeah, he would creep up late in play sometimes and then just go the wrong way. This is that Thielman guy. I don't know if PFF graded him, but he did not play that well. So this was 20 seconds. I saw 20 seconds left in the first half. JD Price is talking to the media tonight, the local media, and he was asked, hey, what did they tell you before this play? Like, was it supposed to be running out the clock? And he said, no, the coaches told me to break one. And he did. And to me, like, I'm very happy about this, but this is really poor from Purdue. They are very much like, okay, so they're running this, your 3 down linemen and the 2 outside linebacker DNs, stand up. So you got 5 across the line, and they're very much, hey, between the tackles, we are not going to allow Notre Dame to run. But bouncing it was just a cakewalk to him.
Yeah. Pendleton whiffs on me.
Look at 17 here.
Yeah, Pendleton whiffs right here. Like Pendleton's ready to go get some oranges at halftime. He's done. And Knapp does a great job being patient. Once again, plays away from him. Patient, walking on that DN. Look at Knapp just roots this guy. Spindler gets up to the second level. Look at the pin block right there by 50. Look at that hole. Pendleton's looking for the chow hall. He's ready to go in. The other guys are blocking their asses off. Sam's like, shit, we're already up 35-0. Come on, guys. It's like, oh, crap. You're cutting back, Price. What are you doing? Making me look bad. Yeah. And then it's just all – it's like the A&M play. It's just all effort. Just, I'm going to outrun you guys.
17 here, man. Like, that's tough.
Like how he goes back and then boom, you get all those off-season videos we saw, right? All those jump cuts and hops and all that stuff he's doing. He just takes off. Look at that.
Again, like,
who the hell wants to tackle him 20 yards down the field to begin?
I guess.
Come on.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what has me so jaded to keep seeing glass half empty. Maybe it's the NIU loss that has me jaded. But it's like, man, against some better teams.
Oh, and NIU is not going. It's there. That's on the resume. One more loss, and Notre Dame's going to the Gator Bowl, I believe. So
no,
it's there.
We only talk about Pop-Tart Bowl and the Sun Bowl on this show, Tim.
I do want the Pop-Tart. I don't want the Pop-Tart, but one of these years when they go, it'll be well deserving. How's that? Yeah, that's just a hell of a play. This is the Angeli play. Now this play they ran in the first half, just opposite.
Okay.
Emil Wagner gets depleted, by the way. Some DN knocks the hell out of him. You guys could see that in the first half. But it's the same thing. Tackle wrap, RPO. Riley Leonard handed off. The tight end does come open, but Riley had handed it off. They got like 4 or 5 yards on the run. This one, Steve, just boom. I want that first touchdown pass of the year. So they had already known. I bet you $5 he got it called in the thing. Hey, we ran this second half. He was open. Look for it, and he just popped out right in there. Nice run. They just, like I said, tackle wrap. You see Knapp pulling, old school tackle wrap zone zone type of a play. RPI. Look at that RPO.
So it's the lineman can't go. What is it? 5 yards?
Oh, it's really 3, but no one gives a
Is
damn.
there really only 3? That's tough to call because
all down there. Spindler's killing somebody on this one too.
Spindler's 4 yards downfield. I think is that Wagner? Little.
They're all down. Well, yeah, they're all Wagner. I'll tell you what, man, that dude loves the damn block. You saw that in the spring game. He was really good at that.
This is just so hard to defend. Because this is man coverage. Like, look at the top of the screen.
You're you're pulling, so you're putting that linebacker in a bull and a bind, because you're getting the down block, so you're getting the counter action. You get down, so you get two colors in a hole, as they say. So you see right there, Spindler, Wagner, 2 gold helmets in a hole. You got to fill, and that's
like, how do you defend this as a linebacker, right? Because this linebacker right here, he's got Flanagan in man coverage. But when you look and you see Knapp is pulling, you're like, this is a run all the way. And then they just think that I don't know how you defend that. That's what I'm saying.
They ran this in the first half where they pulled Wagner and Leonard gave it, and Price got 4 or 5 yards. So they knew, hey, we're coming right back to the second half. Little dump play, boom. Touchdown. And that was it. First touchdown of the season.
Passing.
You didn't get
that Angeli, Tim.
You didn't get God, what was I thinking? Love's run. Oh, we watched Love's on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought about it, but yeah, Love's run is like the same thing as the Price. It's like 1-on-1. I am faster than you because Purdue just put so many guys in the box that you could just bounce these. Just bounce, and there's not. Were both of those in 12 personnel where the tight ends are on opposite sides? So it's like, all right, well, you can just, or no. Yeah.
Those ones weren't. Yeah, that was 11.
11, but there's no like slot receiver down there. So there's like an extra defender that, a slot receiver to bounce. So it's just like, all right, me and the defender 1-on-1. And if not, I'm gone. Touchdown. So,
yeah, I mean, that goes back to, I think we talked about this last week or maybe even Saturday, like, that's Riley Leonard's game, is all that the misdirection, the RPOs, the slinging it out. So just keep doing some more of those things, like the sprint out. We always called it USC boot because everyone's gonna hate it, but Pete Carroll made that famous when he was at USC, where tight end goes right to left. Where they always cross. You've heard me call it that many times, Mike, on shows. It's just that play is so freaking hard to defend. All the action, tight end, you fake the stretch or the zone, come back. It's wide open so many damn times. So you literally got to have a guy sitting backside to defend that. And Reardon ran that. If they run that 3 times a game, because it's a form of option, it's basically a pitch. So there's your pitch, or Riley could keep it. And Ian Book, they did that a handful of times with Ian Book. So I would just keep doing more of those, man. Just get this guy running. He is.
Yeah. It was nice to see the read options and the RPOs and that.
And
yes,
and lastly, real quick on the offense is it probably looks like it's run heavy, but Mike Denbrock, it's a 50-50 offense. I mean, this is, because I count 50-50 as scrambles, it's a pass play, right? And jelly sacks, they count as runs, but those are passes. So when you incorporate all these together, Denbrock was a 50-50 guy last year at LSU. So he's very balanced. I mean, they threw the ball more at A&M than they run, which is still mind-boggling. They attempted 30-something passes. Same with Riley Leonard. So you count his scrambles, you count obviously the penalty on Greathouse. There's 20 passes were called against Purdue. So they are, you say wide open because they're not slinging the son of a gun all over the place, obviously, but Denbrock is making teams defend everything. Run pass. So they are not just line up, ground and pound. That's another thing I keep seeing on Twitter, the message board, where like Freeman's handcuffing Denbrock. How? They are throwing the ball more than they have under Freeman his first year. There's zero handcuff.
Yeah.
Freeman's not in the ear set run 32 dive. It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah. I agree.
So, zero handcuff. Denbrock's getting in a flow, and just beat Miami of Ohio, Mike. Chuck Martin, we love you. Hell of a coach at Notre Dame under Brian Kelly, but yeah, they need to kick his ass.
Yeah. You beat Miami of Ohio, you beat Louisville, go into a bye, you got momentum, and you played well in those 2 games, Tim. It's like, all right, maybe NIU is just a fluke. Maybe NIU is just a fluke, and then you're cooking, you got confidence, recruiting's going well, all that kind of stuff. So, and that's the beauty of the 12-team playoff.
And speaking of Louisville, they've had 2, cupcakes, a bye, so they've only played 2-0. They got I think they're at Georgia Tech. I think that's
that'd be interesting.
So that's going to be a biggie this week. So they're I want to say at Georgia Tech, and then obviously go to Notre Dame I believe it's back-to-back road. If anyone has a schedule handy, I don't, but thought I saw that today when I was looking at who Louisville's played. But they're playing good. Their quarterback's a transfer, a lot of touchdowns, 700, 800 yards in 2 games, and Jeff Brom's a hell of a football coach. So that's going to be a monster game. It's a revenge game, man. Freeman, we talked about this, Mike, right? He knows how to get guys hyped.
He does.
They're going to be hyped for Louisville. Isn't that the green game, or is that the green out?
Yep.
The Peacock only game might get hyped for that. And can't wait to talk about that. But yeah, the guys are going to be ready. So you're right, Mike. Let's finish strong. Let's just handle business going into a bye with a big smile and start fresh.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. Folks, hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content, of course. And we still do have that offer that never ends. $1 for 2 months. Use the promo code UND1. It will end. I don't know when, but it will probably at some point. $1 for 2 months. If you want to try us out over at blueandgold.com, that's all of the recruiting coverage, which I got to hop off here and write a recruiting article. It's been a busy day. Yeah, I mean, our guys, I mean, all the stuff from what Denbrock and Golden said with the media this evening. I mean, just their articles on rewatches, previewing Miami University is what we're calling them on the website this week. According to Google, Miami University is what people associate with Miami of Ohio the most, which seems weird to me. But anywho, again, folks, hit that thumbs up. We will, Tim and I will see you next together on Saturday night after the game. So appreciate you guys. And again, hit the thumbs up. We'll catch you next time.